Seek the Lord while he may be found. Call upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake their way, and the sinner their thoughts. Let them turn to the Lord to find mercy, to our God, who is generous and forgiving. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are your ways my ways, oracle of the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. This Sunday is the 25th Sunday in Ordinary Time. And when we look at the readings and the gospel, we remember that we don't have an infinite time on this earth to turn to and love God. While, unlike the angels, we do have free will, which means that unlike the angels, we can be redeemed, we can fall, and we come back. We don't have an infinite amount of time. Our time does eventually come to an end at the moment of our death, and our will ends up being set. So in the Gospels today, we end up seeing where God goes out to each one of us at various points in our lives. For at dawn, he goes out for us cradle Catholics who were born and raised in the faith. And through various times of the day, he comes out for us converts who don't always have a good understanding of God, maybe have a distorted understanding of God and his church, or are atheists and don't believe in anything. And we come to the end of the day, and he gives us each the same award. See, God has this infinite, completely gratuitous act of love, this will for the good of each of us that he gives to each of us simply if we turn to him. But sometimes, especially if we're cradle Catholics or we've come in early and we've labored all of our life, sometimes we build up a sense of pride about the work that we've done. And we tend to think of ourselves as better than the other, or we seem to think of ourselves as superior or the other as inferior. But God doesn't see us this way. He sees us for who we are when we choose him, and he wants all of us to be with him. So when they talk about the first will be last and last will be first, God can see into our hearts that when the reward is given to those who come after us, and it's the same thing, he can see how we judge, even if we don't see it ourselves yet. He knows how we react to this. Some of us are accepting and loving. We share that charity of Christ, that love of Christ with the others, those that we have hoped all this time will come to know and love God the way we do. And he knows those of us who seem to hold this air of superiority. And he knows that, and he judges us based on that. So when the time comes and we look at those who have not labored in the vineyard the same way as we have, who have not labored as long as we have, if we look at them with pride and judgment and we hold on to these things, we end up lacking in that charity of Christ. And at that point, we can sometimes lose our reward. If we've done all this work to gain a reward out of it, if nothing else, we've justified ourselves. We feel good about what we did. We feel superior. We've had our reward now. Our reward no longer is the glory of heaven, because that comes from Jesus Christ alone. It's God's gratuitous gift for us that merits us salvation. Our work is just a participation in that. So if we go and we work through the vineyard, but through all this time we spend with God, that time we spend with Christ, we still don't know the heart of the Father, we could lose some of that reward, if not all of that reward, if we stand convicting ourselves, and not convicting ourselves in the sense of knowing that we're short, but of assuming that we have this superiority. We can look at them, and instead of it being a case of the first shall be last and the last shall be first, it could be the last shall be first and the first not at all. So we need to always be careful and make sure that when we're laboring in this vineyard, we know what we're laboring for, and that's for the good of God, for God's good, but not our own.